Hey guys, Blade here, just reminding you guys real quick that I have figured out with my editor now how to put the audio from one video over another video so I can narrate over videos that I haven't personally recorded. So if someone out there can record for me footage of monsters from either Generations Ultimate or Rise, then I can start doing lore videos for monsters from Generations Ultimate or Rise that no one else has done yet. And yeah, so I can keep my lore series going for a bit, and I can give you guys a shout out for, hey, thanks for the footage. And yeah, so if someone is willing to give me that footage and would be willing to let me use that for a video, let me know down in the comments below, and hopefully we can set something up that would be advantageous for everyone. Also, guys, please remember that if you haven't already, to subscribe and like these videos, leave a comment to help out with the algorithm, and share these videos on social media with your friends, retweet on Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff to, help me spread my image and hopefully get monetized here. And this year's Oscar, he's a good little boy, but he has he has like cataracts or something in his eyes. You can see here in this picture. I don't know what they are, but I don't have the money right now to take and get him to the vet, have that sorted out. So, like I said, subscribe. Hopefully, I can get monetized, help out my animals and me, because I have a lot of floaters in my eyes, which aren't necessarily a problem now, but could grow to be later on, and it will be really hard for me to make videos if I'm blind. So if you guys could help out with that by subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, it would really help, and I could appreciate it more than words could ever say. So, yes, if you could take the small time, subscribing does not cost you anything. If you could just do that little bit to help out, I would greatly appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get into the video.
So, Admiral, everything is all set up for my handler's birthday party tomorrow, right? Just about. It's definitely gonna be one heck of a party. Only one thing we happen to be short on: balloons. You know that girl can't get enough of those things. Probably because they're as airheaded as she is. That's a bit rude to say about the soon-to-be birthday girl, but don't worry, I think I know exactly how to get a couple more balloons before the party. Man with a plan, eh? I like that. Still, it will take us a while to get those set up once you bring them back, so you'd better get your Aptonoth-sized butt in gear. You're gonna have to knock that out too. People don't like being told that. You've said it to me before, that kind of hurt my feelings. You've said it to my handler and my girlfriend before and made them cry. You've said it to Aiden and his handler. They weren't too thrilled about being called that. You're gonna get a visit from HR sooner rather than later. I'm just saying. Sometimes nature can be deceiving. With some creatures that look like they could destroy you in an instant being completely harmless, like the basking shark, one of the biggest sharks in the ocean, but with only half-inch teeth that feed on plankton. Then there are creatures that look like they couldn't harm a fly, but are more than willing to do you harm any chance they get. Like swans, the symbol of peace and tranquility, but at least one has been confirmed to have drowned a man. And this is the category where our topic of discussion for today falls into. It is absolutely adorable, but that cuteness is completely and utterly eclipsed by its savagery. The furry fiend of the Coral Highlands, the Paolumu.
It's so cute! Kill it with fire!
One of the many oddities of the New World, Paolumu is yet another monster that appears to be an amalgamation of other creatures, albeit slightly simpler than something like Tobi-Kadachi or Puke-Puke. With the standard posture of a flying wyvern, covered in insulating white fur, but with a few spots that are bare, which reveal rough and bumpy scales, mostly on its back and its quite beaver-like tail. And these scales are incredibly durable, which makes the Paolumu's tail a devastating weapon, but we'll get to that later. Known as the floating sky wyvern, it is very much bat-like, and seems to be much more mammalian than reptilian, to the point myself and a number of other hunters believe it should fall into a new category labeled flying beasts. But the guild literally dropped my proposal in the trash right in front of me when I brought it before them. Now, Paolumu is a rare type of foodie known as a corallivore, often spotted feeding on the coral eggs seen floating through the air in the lower areas of the highlands. But that does not mean that you're out of trouble if you run into one of these things. You see, due to living in a place where it's constantly tossed around like a rag doll by the reigning tyrant of the highlands, Legiana, as well as the occasional wandering Odogaron, Paolumu basically thinks anything and everything is out to get him, and so it always chooses violence. I guess they have some zebra in that DNA too in that case. So, what exactly are we dealing with when fighting a Paolumu? Well, actually, it's not that much different than dealing with a Puke-Puke. They both have the flaily chicken jumping kick scratches and the 180 spins to knock you back with its tail. However, it also takes a few notes from Rathian and tries to straight up charge down hunters. However, this can backfire, as it tends to skip leg day, so they aren't as strong or coordinated as the rest of it, and it often falls on its face. However, Paolumu is quite an ace at aerial combat. It often likes to stay in the air, just out of a hunter's reach, and smack them with its slightly prehensile beaver tail, which, again, is covered in very tough scales. Like, I can easily cut off a Rathalos' tail, but the best I'm ever gonna do to a Paolumu's tail is lightly fray the edges. However, Paolumu has a few more tricks up its sleeves, or rather, not so much sleeves as, well, just look at this. Yes, Paolumu can inflate a specialized air sac in its neck to be able to inflate into a giant balloon and float around out of a hunter's reach. I mean, it could already fly with its wings, much more effectively, I might add, because this balloon form affords it far less control and agility than its natural state. It seems like more of a detriment than anything. I don't know, maybe I just don't get it. Kronk, what do you think?
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
Alright, on a serious note, This does allow Paolumu to utilize its tail for two powerful slamming attacks. One where it bounces back off the ground after slamming down for a quick hit and equally quick escape from danger, then a second one with much more force behind it, even shattering some of the ground around it. So you could see that being detrimental to you if you get hit, but at the same time, it also leaves it open for a counterattack. And as one more minor detail, it stores all the air it's inhaled in its inflated neck, but it can also eject it at great speeds in small bursts of wind, similarly to the mighty Kushala Deora, albeit on an infinitely smaller scale. Still, these wind blasts can send a hunter flying if they are hit, and if they don't make contact with a hunter, they leave a miniature tornado behind that can also trip up the floating sky wyvern's enemies. So you might be thinking Paolumu sounds like a tall order to take down, and may be wondering what to do in such a situation. Well, worry not, for I shall tell you. First off, despite being quite aggressive, Paolumu's attacks really don't deal that much damage. The really only difficult part is keeping track of it as it floats and flies all over the place. But thankfully, there's a few ways to put a stop to that. Either with flash bombs to blind it and surprising it, making it fall to the ground, or using either thorn or piercing pods to pierce into its neck and make it deflate and crash to the ground. But still, just keep a solid eye on it, and it's not much of a problem. As for its weaknesses, all you have to do is...
Kill it with fire!
Yes, thank you, Mark. Paolumu's lovely, soft fur is a great insulator against the chilly temperatures of the highlands and protects from Legiana's ice, but this also means it doesn't do so hot in the heat. So fire is your friend here. Thunder is also a decent option, with Ice and Dragon being an option, but not really the ones you should go for, and water being completely ineffective. However, Paolumu is indirectly a hero of the Commission, as through a study of the creature and their air sacs, we were able to make similar materials in order to create giant balloons similar to hot air balloons that we were able to attach to a number of ships to convert them into airships, allowing us to fly throughout the new world in great fleets to combat the new dangers like Shara Ishvalda. So yeah, Paolumu kind of saved the new world. I'm just glad those balloons aren't made of Paolumu materials, or the species would have been wiped out making all of them. Oh, they also helped us figure out how to make glider mantles, allowing us to stay in the air and mount monsters easier. Or just glide throughout the air, that's fun. And so, that is the standard variety of Paolumu. Generational trauma caused it to look at everything as an enemy and act accordingly, but when it is viewed from a safe distance, it is a fascinating and, of course, very cute creature, as well as the inspiration needed to allow the New World Commission to spread our own wings and take to the skies. However, we're not quite done with our bat balloon just yet. Much like with Coral Puke Puke, a new version of Paolumu was discovered as Shara Ishvalda disrupted the New World, shaking this new species of Paolumu from hiding. I suppose at some point in time, a group of Paolumu decided that they were tired of fighting for their lives against Legiana and Odogaron, So they looked at the Coral Highlands and they went. And so they flew to greener pastures and adapted accordingly, becoming the currently only known subspecies of our bat beastie, the nightshade Paolumu. And yeah, I have to say, this change of venue worked for Paolumu in all the right ways. First of all, an absolutely gorgeous palette swap. The beautiful pale yet slightly lavender skin, the stunning black fur, and the mesmerizing eye spots on its inflated neck, reminiscent of a peacock. Relegated down to a still vivid and beautiful teal streak along its neck when non-inflated, it is just an all-around incredible sight to behold. And moving to a slightly less hostile environment, those being the ancient forest and wildspire wastes, has made this new Paolumu equally less hostile. Now perfectly fine with hunters peacefully walking alongside it. I mean, it will get a little annoyed and roar at you if it catches you littering, but hey, that's a good thing. This new Paolumu cares for the earth, and I think we should all strive to follow its example. So, as I said before, Nightshade Paolumu adapted to the new environments it entered, but you may be wondering how exactly it adapted. After all, the apexes of the map, Rathalos and Diablos, are just as vicious and terrifying as Legiana. So how is this Paolumu so much less threatened than the original? Well, to be honest, the explanation may put you to sleep. No, like, literally, this Paolumu has developed an organ known as a torpor sac, which produces a powerful sleep-inducing gas that, once expelled and inhaled, can render even the likes of a Devil Joe unconscious in seconds. And it retains its inflating neck and impressive control of air. This can be used in conjunction with its sleep gas, shooting air bullets at the gas clouds to disperse it in multiple directions, or inhaling more air and pulling the sleep gas when an enemy gets too close. And I don't have to tell you, a sleeping enemy is a vulnerable one, ready to be crushed under its tail. Luckily, the Nightshade Paolumu is not without its weaknesses. While not as vulnerable as the standard variety Paolumu, Nightshade is still decently damaged by fire, thunder being much less effective, alongside ice, with dragon being completely ineffective. Yet strangely, water is actually the most effective element against this new Paolumu. For whatever reason, I can only guess. But as long as it works, ready up your super soakers and water balloons. As for combating the sleep gas, don't worry. If you get a whiff of the exhausting aerosol, just pop a quick energy drink before the claws of Dream World can fully take hold of you. So yeah, if you're going after a Nightshade Paolumu, make sure you brought at least one pack of Monster or something. Pick your poison, no. And that pretty much covers Nightshade Paolumu. Proof that sometimes the best thing for someone is to get out of a bad situation, and you will be better for it. It doesn't really have as big of an impact as the original Paolumu did, but even with its sleep gas making it quite a bit more annoying to fight, the majority of the hunter community seems to prefer it to the standard variety, and I am one of them. A striking new image on top of a complete change-up to the monster's standard way of fighting. It's hard to ask for anything more, but we got it in the form of a rare sleep-inducing monster. In a way, it's a perfect fit. Nightshade Paolumu looks like something that stepped out of a dream, but if you disturb it, you best be ready for a nightmare. So, there you have it, guys. That's my lore on Paolumu, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about the monster. I personally really enjoy its visuals. It looks very cool, very cute, especially, like I said, Nightshade Paolumu is absolutely gorgeous. Both forms are slightly annoying to fight, but once you get the hang of it, it is pretty manageable. And like I did say in the lore, it is Nightshade Paolumu in particular is really cool. While sleep is annoying, I understand why we don't have like a giant plethora of sleep monsters. I will admit that it is still cool when they pop up, and World in particular had a bit of a lack of status monsters, so adding new ones like Nightshade Paolumu was very welcome in Iceborne. And once again, like I said, of all the monsters you would expect that could maybe turn into sleep monsters, Paolumu was not one you would generally think of, so interesting take to turn a normal creature with no element or status what to speak of into a status-inducing monster. I very much like that. Next time, I'm thinking I'll actually be stepping away from the monsters in particular and focusing more on the weapons. So hopefully you guys will be looking forward to that. But until that time comes, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked what you saw and want to see more, go ahead and slash that subscribe button. If you like this video, give a quick cut to the like button. Leave a comment down below. Be sure to share it around with all your friends. Be sure to click the notification bell so you never miss it when I upload a video. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Then I'll see you in the next video. But until then, my people, stay sharp.